You're seeing scenes from the Supreme Court here in Israel today as Likud party MK Tally Gotliv was removed for constantly disrupting court proceedings. Today is a big day in the Israeli courts. We're talking about Ronen Bar, the head of the Shin Bet, and nobody is getting along. I'm Simcha Brodsky coming to you live from JFeed Studios here in Jerusalem. This is Overnight Israel, and here's everything that happened overnight while you were sleeping. Today's hearing at Israel's Supreme Court was supposed to be a procedural debate over the legality of firing Ronen Bar, Israel's domestic intelligence chief. What it turned into was chaos. It began with chants from the gallery, "You have no authority." Then came the first bombshell, a bereaved father, Itzik Bansel, who lost his son on October 7th. He stood up in court and yelled that Ronen Bar's hands are dripping with blood. He said the fact that the hearing was even taking place was a disgrace and that Bar should have been gone long ago. Security dragged him out of the room. Court President Isaac Amit called a break, but it didn't help. As soon as the hearing resumed, MK Tally Gotliv jumped right back in. She argued that she couldn't be removed from the courtroom because she has immunity. Well, that didn't work out so well for her. She was seen chewing gum, playing on her phone, and shouting over the judges. Amit snapped and then ordered her ejected as well. Now let's pause for a second. The backstory. This is about whether the Israeli government can fire the head of its secret internal security agency. At the exact moment that the war and the unrest and threats from within and without are shaking the state to its core, Bar was removed by Netanyahu's government, and the country is split on whether it's for political reasons or if Bar is a legitimate security threat. Opposition groups say the firing was about Qatargate, the ongoing corruption scandal involving Netanyahu's associates. They claim that the firing was meant to sabotage Bar's investigation into Netanyahu's government. The government says it simply doesn't trust him anymore, that he failed on October 7th, and that his continued leadership poses a risk to national security. But the kicker is this: the court doesn't want to rule. They're stuck. If they side with the government, it could set a precedent that any head of the Shin Bet can be fired for political convenience. And if they side with Ronen Bar, then it might spark a constitutional crisis. And that's exactly what we saw today. Justice Minister Yariv Levin called the protests in court the voice of the people. Ben Gvir said that Bar is clinging to the horns of the altar, a biblical reference. And across the aisle, Yair Lapid said that the whole thing was orchestrated. It was an orchestrated riot meant to bully the judges. At the end of the day, the court did not issue a final decision, but it's clear that the battle is just beginning. And if you think this is just about one man, you're not paying attention. This is about the future of checks and balances in Israel. The Supreme Court, the government, the Shin Bet, they're all colliding. Israel is losing the plot again. We're forgetting what this country stands for. It's becoming a club for old, washed-up bureaucrats arguing over who stays in power. And we need to focus on the people and the security of this country. Nothing more. Considering that Bar himself took responsibility for the mistake on October 7th, it's a wonder how he's still even in power. The U.S. has confirmed that Steve Witkoff, Washington's special envoy to the Middle East, will travel to Oman this weekend to begin indirect nuclear talks with Iran. Shocking, huh? Iran's side will be led by their foreign minister, and Oman will mediate. So what's the issue here? Stopping Iran's nuclear advancements before the region hits another breaking point. Trump said again and again, including in his meeting with Netanyahu, that Iran can and must not obtain a nuclear weapon. Iran is claiming that this is all a test and says that the ball is in America's court, making it seem that they've always been willing to play ball. Iran's foreign minister added that they have no plan for direct talks with the U.S., and for the time being, their focus is only on indirect conversation. Meanwhile, multiple Iranian-backed militias in Iraq are reportedly willing to disarm to avoid U.S. airstrikes. Until you realize that this only happened after the U.S. launched heavy strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen and made it clear that the next time, Iraq could be in the crosshairs. This is all happening while Hezbollah, the Islamic Jihad, and Hamas remain on alert. Everyone's eyes are moving to the head of the snake, Iran, and we're entering a very fragile moment in the Middle East. The outcome of these talks could impact Israel's security posture moving forward. Anyone else feel like hitting the fast forward button and seeing what happens? I know I do. And finally, just so you know, the courts are still in session. Just a bit quieter than it was in the morning, but honestly, it's a lot of words, very little action. The judges and the members of the court talk too much, and it's a wonder that their lips don't fall off. Will it end in some kind of decision? Please God, we hope so. We'll be keeping a close eye on Iran as well. The Middle East is shifting again, so stay tuned. For JFeed.com, my name is Simcha Brodsky here in JFeed Studios in Jerusalem. This has been Overnight Israel. Catch you tomorrow.